mean, we love your Mr. Trudeau. I mean, his family's always been such big fans of our band. Fucking brilliant. I watched it while I was getting ready, actually. It was a nail-biting penalty shoot. But Brian Adams, who was born in Vancouver, by the way, congratulations on the Canadian soccer team getting to the semi-finals!
Mick Jagger just dropped a bombshell about Justin Trudeau's family on stage. The crowd went wild, booing at the mere mention of the Canadian PM's name. What secret did the Rolling Stones frontman reveal? In this video, we're diving into the shocking moment that left Trudeau's reputation in tatters. You won't believe how a rock legend's offhand comment exposed decades of hushed-up scandal. Stay tuned to see how this changes everything for Canadian politics. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Remember when Justin Trudeau was Canada's golden boy? Those days are long gone.
Of a woke prime minister pushing radical woke identity politics, dividing people by race, gender, vaccine status, religion, and more. On top of dividing, he erases our heroes and history, saying Canada has no core identity.
Mr. Speaker, I'm really glad the Leader of the Opposition started by comparing our economic position with the U.S. Because the fact is, in Canada, inflation is lower. In Canada, interest rates are lower.
The results? Assassinations on Canadian soil, firebombings and terrorist attacks against places of worship, 251% more hate crime. It wasn't like this before this Prime Minister and won't be after he's gone. Why not an election so we can fix what he broke?
Back in 2015, Trudeau burst onto the political scene like a rock star. With his boyish good looks, charming smile, and promises of sunny ways, he captured the hearts of Canadians from coast to coast. People couldn't get enough of this young, charismatic leader who promised a new era of progressive politics. But oh, how the mighty have fallen. Trudeau's carefully crafted image started crumbling faster than you can say carbon tax. The scandals just kept piling up, each one chipping away at his once pristine reputation. Remember the SNC Lavalin affair? That explosive moment left everyone in shock, as Trudeau was accused of pressuring the Attorney General to cut a deal with a corrupt company. Then came the blackface photos that surfaced from his past, leaving Canadians wondering if they really knew their Prime Minister at all. And let's not forget about Trudeau's disastrous trip to India, where he pranced around in traditional garb like he was auditioning for a Bollywood movie. The cringe factor was off the charts, and suddenly, Canada's cool PM looked more like an embarrassing dad trying too hard at a school dance. As the scandals mounted, Trudeau's popularity took a nosedive. Polls showed his approval ratings plummeting faster than a lead balloon. Canadians who once swooned over his selfies were now rolling their eyes at his every move. The golden boy had lost his shine, and people were starting to see through the carefully crafted facade. But just when you thought Trudeau's reputation couldn't sink any lower, fate had other plans. The worst was yet to come for the embattled PM, and it would come from the most unexpected source imaginable. What you will hear next is really surprising. A moment that would leave Trudeau's image in absolute tatters and change the course of Canadian politics forever. Just when Trudeau thought his reputation couldn't sink any lower, an unexpected voice from the past was about to turn his world upside down.
And when it comes to supporting Canadians, what I want to know is, will Conservative MPs be allowed to offer a tax break to their constituents? I know their constituents want it. That's what we're hearing.
After doubling housing costs and inflating food prices 37% faster in Canada than in the United States, with inflationary carbon taxes and deficit spending.
The recent GDP revisions, the upward revisions in GDP that show a good result for Canada in per capita GDP.
How did a simple concert become the stage for exposing a decades-old family secret? Picture this: packed venue, electric with anticipation. The crowd's energy is off the charts as they wait for the legendary Mick Jagger to take the stage. When he finally appears, the roar is deafening. But little did anyone know, this wasn't going to be just another night of classic rock hits. As Jagger starts his usual between-song banter, he suddenly shifts gears. He begins talking about Canada, comparing it to an old girlfriend he misses. The audience leans in, wondering where this is going. Then, out of nowhere, Jagger drops the name Trudeau. The reaction is instant and intense. Boos erupt from the crowd, echoing through the arena. It's clear that Canada's Prime Minister isn't winning any popularity contests here, but Jagger isn't done. He flashes that famous, knowing smile, the kind that says he's got a juicy secret he's dying to share. The tension in the air is thick enough to cut with a knife.
Prime Minister has my full support. I know he has the full support of Cabinet. And I know he has the full support of the vast majority of Liberal MPs. Things are hard. Life is really challenging right now. And you, our government, need to do a better job delivering for us. We are collectively absolutely committed to doing that. We are committed to delivering on housing, getting more homes built faster, in Toronto, in Milton, across the country.
What could Mick Jagger possibly know about the Trudeau family that the public doesn't? The crowd holds its breath, waiting for the other shoe to drop. And drop it does. With a mischievous glint in his eye, Jagger starts hinting at the long-standing rumors about Margaret Trudeau's alleged affairs with members of the Rolling Stones. The crowd goes absolutely wild. It's like a dam has burst, and decades of hushed whispers are suddenly out in the open. In that moment, Justin Trudeau's carefully constructed image takes another massive hit. It's one thing to deal with your own scandals, but having your family's dirty laundry aired out by a rock legend? That's a whole new level of embarrassment. The aftermath is explosive. Social media lights up like a Christmas tree, with shocked reactions and memes spreading faster than wildfire. People can't believe what they've just heard. The long-buried scandal is suddenly front and center.
We're taking the next step in lifting the GST on new student residences. As you know, last year we lifted the GST on new apartment construction. We are launching a consultation to expand the GST exemption to the construction of student residences. We know that the lack of homes for students is a really important. This is an important measure. It was already announced that it would be coming into force. OSFI announced this. These are the so-called straight switches,
leaving Canadians questioning everything they thought they knew about their Prime Minister's family history. Just when you thought Trudeau's reputation couldn't take another hit, a rock legend delivers a knockout punch. Mick Jagger's explosive revelation about the Trudeau family's past has left the Prime Minister reeling. This unexpected twist might be the final nail in the coffin for Canada's most controversial leader. What's next for Trudeau? With his approval ratings in free fall and public trust at an all-time low, his political future looks bleak. The upcoming Canadian elections could see a major shift away from Trudeau as voters grapple with this latest bombshell. It's a stark reminder that in politics, your family's past can come back to haunt you, even decades later. The lesson is clear. No one is untouchable, not even a prime minister. When a rock star can topple a political dynasty with a few words on stage, it shows just how fragile power can be. Trudeau's once golden image now lies shattered, proving that in the world of politics, your reputation is only as strong as your last scandal.